What's going on, everybody? Tonight, I'm going to introduce you to my little friend. His name is AI. Stick around. I'll tell you like 5 or maybe even 7 really practical ways that I use AI in my proper Royals business on just about a daily basis. Stick around. Let's get to it. What's up, everybody? Thank you for being here. It's Tuesday night. It's 8 o'clock on the East Coast. It's 7 o'clock here in Minnesota. Some of you last week kind of let me know after the show, maybe I shouldn't give you updates from Minnesota. That's fine. We're doing fine. I know that maybe that's not what you come here for, and it's not what I come here for either. We're doing okay, and I do appreciate you being here, and I do believe in people having different opinions and a freedom of speech. So I got your back. There you go. How about that? It has been it's been a good week for me. It is bloody cold, unbelievable cold. Special shout out. Like, this is like a long game shout out. Shout out to Joe at JSA Exotics up north of the Twin Cities. More than 2 years ago, when I first moved here to Minnesota, he was kind enough to, I did buy some snakes from him, but he was kind enough to welcome me and give me a tour of his facility. And it was on that day that I learned about in-floor radiant heat. And here's the funny thing. I'm going to be able to predict where you're from if you know about in-floor radiant heat, because you got to be about 2/3 of the way north into the United States before anybody's heard of it. And for a boy born in North Carolina and from Florida, I had no idea of in-floor radiant heat. The high today was 6 degrees and the snakes never dipped below 79. Like, that heat is unreal. It's unbelievable. So check that out. But all seriousness, thanks to Joe and the whole crew and family at JSA Exotics, JSA Reptiles, excuse me. They've been really, really great allies and help resources here in allies. We're not in a fight. Resources here in Minnesota. And I would have never known to look for that in a commercial industrial facility. And to this very day, my car wash facility has those radiant indoor in-floor heat. And that's what I use to heat the reptiles. So I'm doing A-okay. Let's see. In case you're wondering, will there ever be another guest? Yes, there will. In February 10th, I've got Morph Jungle. That's Justin Weinrich, first time ever guest. He's coming on the show for the very first time. He and I, we've known each other for a long time. We vended the Repticon circuit down in Florida for several years together. I would see him every show. He would see me, I'd see him, say hello. It'll be really cool to catch up with Justin, see how he's been doing and what he's been up to. He's been breeding some banging snakes. He's definitely one of maybe the first. I got to find out. He might've been the first. I don't think he was the first, but he's definitely one of the Sunset Ultramel guys. So make sure to tune in for that next week. Speaking of people that I really just look up to, and I'm thankful that I know, Jeremy Warfels from Warfels Morphs. A little different show next week. It's kind of a what happens when the industry changes, what happens when the algorithm changes, what happens when your interests within the hobby change, what's more important, clicks or family time. He's still super enthusiastic about his animals and everything, but he's kind of changed his outlook of how he goes through things. So I'm not going to put any words in his mouth, but we'll come. I'll have him on next week. That's next week, same time, same place, Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then, like I say, the following week will be Justin Weinrich from Morph Jungle. That's February 10th. Things pick up for me, and I'm pretty pumped about it. Let me tell you, any chance you get to get out of the house and go somewhere in the middle of Minnesota wintertime, I'll take it. This coming Saturday, a rare Saturday show here in the Midwest. They're all one-day shows and they're Sundays. It's kind of weird, but I also kind of like it. Get in, get out. If people buy. Like they got 5 hours. That's it. Got to buy. That's it. No coming back tomorrow. No go home. Think about it tonight. Buy it or done. But this is a rare Saturday one. This Saturday, January 31st, I'll be in La Crosse, Wisconsin. If you're going to be there and you're interested in any purchases, check out properroyals.com. You can set up purchases ahead of time. Just get in touch with me. If you see something you like, we'll work out how to make it work. Normally, I would have ASFs ready for pre-orders, but honestly, I've already been pre-bought out of all my available ASFs. So don't have it. Got to look out for the local customers and for my own needs. So I won't have any extras for this show, but just check with me if I'm ever vending a show that you're interested in those. Then the following Sunday, which I just learned was Super Bowl Sunday, but have no fear. The show is from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Again, 5 hours of power, like all killer, no filler. Get in, get out on these shows. That's in Madison, Wisconsin. That's the Scaled Up Exotic show. Both of these are Sunday, February 8th, Super Bowl Sunday. And I guess I'll just be driving home, listening to the Super Bowl on the radio that night, coming home. How about it? Thanks for being here tonight. It's hard for me to check out the comments and engage the camera and the content. So I'm not really a roll call guy of everybody here, but I really appreciate you all being here. Little shout out, Onyx and Ivy. Funny story. My neighbors, my physical neighbors, my commercial neighbors. So those of y'all that don't know, I have a car wash and I converted one of the bays into a reptile facility. So I have maybe a world's first car wash reptile facility. The neighbors that are on the adjacent lot, like their property butts up with mine. They're highly skeptical of the new car wash guy. They've been totally cool, never a problem. I'm not talking bad about them, but I have a buddy that gets his hair cut. Oh, and it's a salon. There's a salon there, and I have a buddy that gets his hair cut there. And he comes over one day. He's like, "Do you ever talk to them about your snakes?" And I was like, "No, never once." And he's like, "Well, they're talking about your snakes in there." And that place is called Onyx and Ivory. And I thought that when I saw you follow, that's how I remembered you followed me right away. I thought it was my neighbors that were like, all right, he's cool enough. We're going to follow him. And then I looked closely. I'm still happy to have you. I'm not disappointed in the least. It was just a funny story. So anyway, thanks for checking out the show tonight. Thank you for being here. Let me see what else I got going on. A ton of media coming out. This week, I've got an episode on YouTube coming out. It's about live selling in 2026. Yes, I talk about Palm Street, but I'm telling you guys, you gotta figure out how to adopt some form of live selling, whether it's you on camera, not on camera. The economy that will be in live selling in 2026 worldwide is going to eclipse $1 trillion. Forbes magazine, Inc. magazine, Morph Market is building. Actually, they're doing a live explanation of their live auctions sometime soon. So like that is coming out. It's coming. I encourage you to try Palm Street. The link is right down below of how you can go apply to sell there. I think 2026 will be the year that live selling becomes like not just niche, but like the thing. And Palm Street welcomes reptile sales. You can't do that on, Shopify, on TikTok, you're definitely not going to be doing it on Amazon. So check it out. But that whole episode will be coming out. It's not just a promo for Palm Street. So check that out if you're interested in that. And then tonight, I shout out again to Onyx and Ivy. They say that they found me through Small Town Exotics Patreon. On the Proper Royals Patreon, there's a ton of content about what I'm going to talk about tonight. And I promise you tonight is not just a promo for the Patreon. I'm going to give you useful content, hang out tonight. Absolutely useful content that you can put to work right away. But if you want to do deep dives, if you want to see how you can differentiate yourself from business, if you want to be surrounded with like-minded individuals that are driven by such things, come check out the Proper Royals Patreon. It's $7 to get in the door and you get full access. Everybody gets the same access. There's no special treatment. Once you're in, you're in. There's a $7 tier. That's just like Adam's tip jar. That one comes to me after the Patreon fees. There's a $35 tier, and that builds store credit, 100% of it. I eat the fees. You get all your money back in the form of store credit for snakes. So come hang out. There's a group chat, very active, and like I say, always good people. I promise you that. Everybody's welcome. I'm excited by the diversity that's in there. It's a very cool place, in my opinion. And it's cool because of the people, not because I put my name on it. So come hang out, come do some business, come learn. And then, of course, you get access to the Patreon library. I've never done this before, but just this week, I made an episode of the Patreon library free. If you want to check it out, you want to experience what it looks like, what the deep dives look like. And that is episode 1 of how I use AI in 2026. So that is on Patreon. Like I say, if it's for you, go check it out. If not, stick around right here. I'll give you stuff that you could get started. And like, if you're somebody that likes to noodle around and just figure out stuff on your own, like tonight, you're going to really love this episode, because once you dive into the hole, if you're that kind of person, you're going to learn so much so fast and get it put to work. So, yeah, so let's dive into it. How about that? Here's a bunch of ways you can use, or that I use AI and that you might want to, or you might consider doing. And I'm also going to tell you in this episode where I don't use it, the things that don't happen. I'll sprinkle a few of those. And then at the end, I've got some explicit things of where I don't use AI. So, yeah, have a good, have fun, have an episode. If you have questions along the way, ask me and I will do my best to get to them. Man, I would be remiss. Speaking of the Patreon, speaking of good people, speaking of cool people that hang out, I got to give a special shout out to Chris at 319 Reptiles. This is his birthday this week. How about that? Huh? Send the man a little birthday greetings right there. Happy birthday, Chris. We missed each other in Des Moines. Neither of us were there, but next time, man, we'll have a little birthday beer. So cheers to you. Happy birthday, Chris. I'm glad I spotted you in a timely manner before I dove in. And like I say, if I miss your question, I will do my best to get to it. So here's some really like down to earth ways that you can use AI. Even if you don't want to use it in your business, you can use it just in life, and some hacks where I use it. So the first thing, I'm talking about using ChatGPT. That's the one that I use. I'm not affiliated with them. God, don't I wish I was. I wish I could have some ChatGPT money. You know what I mean? But I'm not affiliated with them other than myself. I use the $20 a month subscription fee. I guess it could have gone up. I don't think it did. I bought it a year at a time and just put it to my business expenses. So I do the $20 a month business fee, or not the business fee, the $20 a month subscription, and I write it off to a business. But my understanding is you get basically the same experience or the same like knowledge access returns, except on the free stuff, like it puts you in a queue and you have to wait in line. If you have the subscription, it's just bang, bang, bang. So if you think you'll put it to use regularly, and it makes sense at $20 a pop or each month, go ahead and give it a shot. I highly recommend it. I like it. And it builds an ongoing library too. So some of the things that I use it for, just really, really quickly, these seem so small, but I use them the most. The analysis of transcripts. And I know that sounds so boring. Like before your eyes roll back and you're like, okay, Adam, thank you. That'll be enough. The analysis of transcripts is so, so valuable. Imagine, let's just pick some names here. Imagine the greatest resource in our industry. Maybe you're thinking of a guy named Justin. Let's say Justin puts out a long video that's an hour long and you just don't have time in your day for it, but it's something that you know you can glean some knowledge from and you feel like you got to know, or you want to find out if it's not worth watching. You can get a transcript, not from AI. YouTube gives you these. If you go to the description, you can check it. It won't be there now because I'm live, but on any other video after it's live, like this will be here. It'll be there after the live. It will be. Yeah, baby, go sell some snakes. That video that I ran, I already sold 2 snakes from this week. That's the meta ad. Do it, man. And thank you for the kind tip. That's cool. if you go in the description, scroll all the way down to the very, very, very bottom of the description. If anybody's using AI to write their descriptions, which you should be, all the way down past all that gibberish, you're going to see a little blue button, and it's going to say "Show Transcript." It's going to pop up on the right-hand side of the screen a whole transcript with timestamps. You could highlight that whole thing, copy it, paste it into AI, into ChatGPT, and say, write me an executive summary of this whole transcript. Think about the power of that. So, like, full disclosure, I said I did a video on live selling in 2026. I wrote my outline. I fed it to ChatGPT. I then said, go find all of citations and references that I could need to complete this video. So now when the video's going, it's not just me talking to you. I have screenshots of magazine articles, of graphs, of pictorials, because it goes and finds it. So imagine if, again, if Justin says, hey, here's an hour-long video, and then ChatGPT will tell you in a matter of seconds, here's the 10 bullet points at these timestamps, go straight to it. Think how important that is. Think if I were to do a video on, I saw Steven in here, Leviathan. Say I have marketing opinions, but I know that they differ from somebody else's. And I'm using Steven not because I differ in marketing opinions from him, but because we have a fun time jousting over debates. I could go grab 5 videos worth of Steven's transcripts from his marketing videos, put them into ChatGPT, and say, where does his opinions differ from mine? I want to build an outline about this. The amount of research you can do from a transcript is absolutely wild. And you could pull them from any video. Just fast research, just like that. Think about it. Your mind is going to go in places where you're like, wait, I could learn that and get that distilled down for me that fast. You can. If you're creating your own content and you need supporting arguments, you can find that. Opposing arguments, you can find that. Website citations, you can find that. So I love the power of transcripts. The other thing I do, and now make sure that you have people's permission to do this, so I always include that, but it's becoming more and more common on like Zoom calls that people just turn on their AI recorder. If you have Zoom calls, or like I have a consulting company with my hospitality consulting, First Growth Hospitality. If I have a meeting with a client or a training session or anything else, I will record a voice recording of it, get the transcript of the voice recording, plug it into ChatGPT and say, give me a meeting recap, and boom, I can send that right back out to the client. Everybody's on the same page. Everybody knows what we've covered. Everybody has a resource if they were like, Adam's talking really fast. So when this episode's over, go get the transcript, download it into ChatGPT. And the funny thing too, like tell ChatGPT, be like, I don't understand half of what he's talking about. Explain this to me. And you're going to get ChatGPT to teach you about ChatGPT. Along those lines that I use a lot is the ability for massive analytics. I'm going to give you 2 real world examples really quickly here. And again, they're kind of boring, but they're super useful. Let's use Chris's example. He said he just placed a Meta ad. That's an ad on Facebook and an ad on Instagram. And I think it actually will go to Threads and WhatsApp as well. When you post an ad in Meta, I use Facebook as the base posting place, but anywhere you post it, Meta starts tracking all sorts of performance information, clicks, click-through rates, impressions. Like those are the big 3, but there's literally hundreds of data points that it takes. And you need a bigger sample size than just one. But I've been posting ads on Meta now for several years. So I have and all of the ads have been written by AI. So now what I do is I go to the ad center, and you can get performance data dating back forever for as long as you've put it there. I select all the categories. It is total gibberish, the Excel or CSV or whatever it produces. I can't analyze that. I upload it to ChatGPT. I say, hey, here's the performance and how the ads are performed of the ads that you're writing. And it'll try and explain to me all the metrics. And I'll say, I don't need to know that. I need you to write stronger ads based on these metrics. The data analytics in a spreadsheet, and a massive spreadsheet that we just wouldn't comprehend. I know somebody would, but can you imagine how many years of your life you would have to become an expert in this stuff to understand what the heck all those metrics are in the spreadsheet? Upload the spreadsheet. Don't just copy and paste it. You can actually upload files now. Upload the spreadsheet, have it analyze it, and then ask questions. Say, what don't you understand? What does this column mean? Why do we do this stuff? I was a little flippant when I said I don't need to understand it. Sometimes you have to clarify it, and you got to really treat it like an employee that needs feedback sometimes. The other real world example, this file goes back 15 years, maybe 20 years. It's just a budget. It's just a basic budget file. You know, top line is revenue, middle line is cost of goods, bottom line is pure expenses. Take the top line, subtract the middle and the bottom lines from it, and you get your net. So you got gross, you got net. Hopefully your net is positive. If it is, great, you're making money. If it's negative, you're not. Track that for 12 months. We call it a budget. That file is in the Patreon as well. I took the past 5 years, and I've used that. That's the budget I used to run restaurants with, but I use that same file to run Proper Royals. I uploaded the past 5 years of Proper Royals budgets. I said, I write my budget for 2026. I want to increase animal sales by 15% over 2025 because that felt a little bit soft. I want to increase rodent sales by 30% because I've expanded. I bought a car wash and I better pay for it. So I'm going to push those and keep the rest about the same, reduce my labor, reduce my equipment spending because I'm done outfitting and renovating places. And it spit me out a new budget for 2026. And you always got to verify the thing. You always got to review it. You got to make sure it's good work. I was done with my budget in 12 minutes, man. So the massive analytics that are just doldrums for most. I happen to like numbers a little bit, but even I don't like the analytics of how ads are performing and that kind of stuff. So, the massive analytics is fantastic. Sorry, I'll just distracted by the comments. Yeah, there you go. The research page. Yeah, I mean, man, I was a history major. You talk about overnights in the library. I did that literally. I can't imagine what being a history major is like right now, you know? Okay, Claude AI, huh? All right, I haven't tried it. I got to go check that out. I absolutely think any platform, as long as it's run honestly and with integrity, which I have no idea if Claude is, I have to assume that it is going, the analysis and the technology is what you want. Okay. The platform, whatever suits you best and whatever the cost finances are of it, that suit you, then let it rip, you know, but, Claude, great option there. I don't know if it's a great option, great suggestion. I take your word that it's a great option. Yeah, Jen, just sit back, enjoy the show, get the transcript afterwards, and you're going to be off to the races. You don't even need to take notes. Just take it in and enjoy it. All right. Okay. The second thing, and I show you exactly how to do this in that first episode of the Patreon video that is free. You could get the practical information without spending a penny tonight. I'm appreciative that you guys are here, and it's just stuff that I've learned, and Lord knows I've learned a ton on this show from other people. So if I can help, great. You could create specialist bots. And again, I just have to use the platform ChatGPT that I'm familiar with, but I think all the platforms have a similar thing like this. There is a project file or a projects file. And if you start something in projects, it will hold it for you so that you could refer back to it. And you can have multiple chats within that. So you can develop like specialties. You could develop specialists. Now, these specialists are not human. Don't fall in love with them and any of that stuff. But they become you can train and treat them and give them feedback and coach them to become specialists in a certain area. And one of my favorite hacks that like I think really hits, and I'll ask Chris, he saw the video, but it was one of my favorite like aha moments. So say you want a specialist in something you know nothing about. I've become better at keywords, SEO stuff, getting noticed in Google searches. I have started to figure that out, but I knew nothing about it for a long, long time. And what you could do is you could go to ChatGPT, and also one little hack, use ChatGPT where you can dictate to it instead of typing. You could get really, really, really specific prompts then. So you go to ChatGPT and you could say, hey, I need to create a persona. This is going to be an ongoing project that you are going to work from and learn from, and you're going to help me grow my business with this persona. And let's just use the marketing specialist. And you tell it you're going to be an SEO marketing specialist. SEO stands for search engine optimization. But if you didn't know that, you could even ask ChatGPT, be like, "Hey, what kind of job, what kind of expert would know about getting search terms to pop up in Google?" And then what you do? Here's my favorite hack ever. Maybe not ever. I get excited about all this, but I love this hack. You go take that job posting or job title and go to LinkedIn and search for jobs that match that. So I'll just tell you that a social media specialist or social media SEO specialist, type that into LinkedIn and find a job that's posted with a description that you like. And you're like, that sounds like somebody who would have to know what they're doing. Copy that description, copy those job requirements, paste it into ChatGPT and say, here's what kind of expertise I expect you to have. Does this make sense? Do you have any questions? What are the things you can do and what are the things you can't do? And hit enter. And it will create you a persona with as many of those qualifications as it feels that it can fulfill. And from there, now you have your SEO marketing specialist. Write me captions for YouTube, write me captions for Instagram, write me Facebook posts, write me blog entries for my website. I'm going to brag a little bit, but it's mostly just like sharing what I've learned and the results of what I've learned. If you get bored, Google Minnesota ball pythons and Google Minnesota ball python breeders. On mine, now it might just be playing to the audience. On mine, Proper Royals comes up first. It was not always that way. I come up ahead of Twin Cities Reptiles. Those of y'all from the Midwest know that Twin Cities Reptiles are the icons. I'm thankful that I come up above them, but there's no reason really that I should, other than a specialty in ball pythons and a great focus on learning SEO and how to get Proper Royals to appear in Google searches. And I learned it from a persona that I created on AI that I just ask questions to relentlessly and coach relentlessly. And again, just turn on the dictation. You can just tell it your feedback every time. If you do that, I'm really interested in the results, and not for my ego, to see if Google is treating various people's searches similarly, or like I say, if it's just catering to me and it's like, yay, Google, let me go watch Adam go advertise for Google now. So I'm curious if that's the same, but it wasn't always that way for me. So something has changed. And the funny part is the number one is my Morph Market store. My website is like third, and then my Facebook page is fifth. And in between, I think, is Twin Cities. One pet store I haven't heard of, so I'm impressed with what they're doing. And then MBK Pythons is in there too, which are awesome people here in Minnesota. Create specialist bots. So that very first episode in the Patreon, that's free, that you could go check out at the Proper Royals Patreon. Doesn't cost you anything. No commitment, no nothing. It's yours. It'll show you exactly how to do that. But it's, like I say, it's one of my favorite hacks. It's so fun. I do that constantly. If there's a topic I don't know about, I go look for a job description of like somebody who would know about it. Say, this is you now, ChatGPT, and it'll give you a name and everything. Like Alex is my SEO guy. It'll give you a name and everything, and just put it to work, put it to use. So, let me see here. I like ChatGPT as well. Again, like the boring minutia that just takes so long to organize and think of is really where ChatGPT shines for me. I know we like it for like the trinket thing, like Aaron at Batter Up Balls. He turned himself into like a seal swimming through a bay of ball pythons or something. That's fun and that's cool. I don't really have a practical use for that. It is neat and it got eyeballs and it got me talking about Aaron at Batter Up Balls. So maybe it's effective, but it's not really my thing to do. So let me see here. Okay, now this is interesting. Do you think there's a demand for custom-built AI systems in the reptile industry, specifically with outreach and lead generation? Yeah, I would think so. You're talking about like I don't even know what GPT stands for, to be honest with you, but like the GPT thing that you can share and other people can utilize it, or I would guess that you could monetize it too. I guess so. Lead generation, I don't know, like cold call leads? I'm not sure. But I think that there's probably something there. Time would tell, I suppose. I'm not 100% familiar with what you're asking, but I have seen people sharing the GPT or the personas that they create or the tools that they create that other people can put to use. So I do think that there's something there. And if you're capable at creating and building them, especially if you could do them quickly, you could put out 5 or 10 different ones and see which hit. I think you could do that. So I like it helping me with processes and systems. And I had a good friend ask me about, hey, I hear people use AI to figure out basically logistics. And I love the word logistics, but logistics is essentially the study of production, of inventory fulfillment, efficiencies and inefficiencies, and improving all of those things in a cost-effective way. That would all fall under logistics. So I'm a one-man show. You've already heard me mention consulting business, car wash, and proper royals, which is reptiles and rodents. I don't say that because any of it's a good decision. I say that because it's the life that I have. Staying organized in that manner when I'm not that good at staying focused in the first place. I'm definitely not a doctor, but I suspect many people would diagnose me with some sort of ADHD. I have had a doctor tell me that it is hereditary and look straight in my face. Anyway, that's a different story. But I'm saying that because while I do think I'm smart and I think I could process sort of a lot of information at once or see a lot of angles at once, I have very difficult time staying focused. I will demonstrate for you. I have a guitar pick. You see me waving around pencils constantly. I fidget with the guitar pick. I have this little piece of wire here that I like to spin around because that feels nice. And I have this stainless steel ball bearing because that's nice and heavy and that feels nice to play with too. So my ability to focus is highly questionable. So staying focused and on task is something that AI really helps me with. And it's not, I was going to say it's not as simple as, and I make it very complicated, as you can imagine. But you can literally tell ChatGPT the story of your work week, the story of your workflows, and say, A, give me a checklist so that I stay on task. B, what do you recommend that I change on this checklist so that I would be more efficient? And then when it starts to tell you things, you could tell it, that doesn't work because I usually vend shows on Sundays. So that trickles into Monday and pushes this back. Oh, by the way, yeah, I know it sounds like I'm wasting time, but I have a car wash and that has some maintenance and daily requirements as well. And you could start to build this busy life pyramid that it can analyze without emotions, without feeling overwhelmed, without going, just screw it, I'll just do what needs to be done, which we generally do. And we get good at doing what needs to be done. That's why, that's why we're good at what we do. But man, it's nice when it's organized, it's consistent, there's a repeatable process, all of those things that we like when we think of systems and processes. It can help you with that. So check that out. If any of what I just described sounds like or feels like something you experience or have a little bit of empathy and understanding for, maybe you'll like it for that as well. This one is a very long game, and I hinted at it a minute ago. Coming up in Google searches, it's a very long game. You can't just like drop a word here and a nifty code here and a cheat code hack here and $2,000 here, and then you're going to be at the top. It doesn't work that way. I don't know exactly how it works, but I can tell you it doesn't work that way. From what I understand, slow, steady, repetitive things that cause Google to recognize there has been a change in your information means Google's got to come back. If Google sees you're prolific and consistent on the same topics and the same themes, and people are clicking through to your site, then you get shown to more people to click through. And that could be a website, but it also could be your Facebook page. It could be your Morph Market account. It could be Instagram captions. It could be TikTok captions. All of those companies, for lack of a better word, which I hate the word algorithm, but they all have some version of the algorithm that calculates that stuff. And so one of the ongoing projects that I have is stacking searchable assets. If you were to go to properroyals.com, you would find a section called the Education Hub, formerly known as blogs, who nobody reads. I know nobody reads that, but you know who does read it is Google and the internet crawlers. They read it. And so you could strategically build blogs on topics. You'll see that there's a library of information that probably very few human eyes will ever read unless somebody searches it and finds it and clicks through to it. However, Google says, man, this guy seems to know what he's talking about. Let me share this with somebody. Or there'll be it'll be a link in another article that links it back to it. And I've been working at that for about a year and a half. And like I say, just literally today, I just posted in the Patreon how stoked I was that I came up number one in Minnesota ball python breeders and Minnesota ball pythons. So you could use AI to strategically stack your long-term assets. And if you still don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay, because I can't quite. I'm not the expert. That's why I'm saying ChatGPT helps me with this. It put me through an exercise that basically said, tell me about your brand. What are you known for? What do you want to be known for? Who is your target audience? Why are you using me for this? And my philosophy, I'm not saying it's right, time will tell. My philosophy has been nationwide customers looking for ball pythons. You'll find me here. You'll find me on Morph Market. Those are YouTube and Morph Market are two really, really nationally searchable databases, right? Like, it doesn't matter where you're at. You search long enough. If I have what you want or a topic that you want, you're going to find me. We don't think about local markets. And for me, the local market makes sense because there's like 3 to 4 million people in the Twin Cities metro area. That is a lot of people. If I could be the ball python breeder of choice just for that market, I will do pretty well. So I put a lot of time in saying, I want to win in Minnesota. Doesn't mean other people haven't helped me. It doesn't mean I won't help. I would help anybody. But it also does mean I put the effort in and I want to have something to show for it. So that has been my goal. And I give you my word, I've never put any other breeder in Minnesota down. It's that I just want to be the one that comes up in the searches. So I had it write a strategy for me, and every caption in Instagram, every caption in, and Instagram trickles down to Facebook, every caption in TikTok, in the descriptions here has something to do with Minnesota based ball python breeder. And it just stacks those assets over and over. And then I tie them back to my website, which is where I want people to land. And ChatGPT taught me how to do that. And I'm starting to see the fruits of all of that labor. If you're saying to yourself, man, this doesn't sound like a hobby, this sounds like work. It is work. It's there's nothing glamorous about any of it. There's not anything glamorous about scrubbing tubs. I will say the glamorous part is not clocking in to another job that I'm not excited about. So that's the win for me. I'm not knocking anybody for what they do in that comment either, by the way. So that's something that I use AI for, and I really like it. Now that's a long game. You got to stay committed to, you got to stay like obsessive about, and you got to have that schedule of like, all right, where am I going to post today? Have you guys seen that that Instagram reel about the girl that's got to post about her lizard every day? You got to go find it. I don't know what you'll search like lizard influencer or something like that. The meme is fantastic. Like the girl is just crashing out. I think that's what the expression the kids use, crash out. She is crashing out, like chain smoking, about how she has to post more about her lizard. But it's kind of like that. It tells me when I need to post and to stay prolific. And then I use it for the comments and the hashtags and all the other hip words that I really don't know what they mean, but it does seem to be working. Speaking of people that work and that I work for, the only bad thing about doing these solo shows, well, first, you guys probably get tired of listening to me at some point, but I don't get to put up the logos. And watch this. I got to do whoop, 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 whoop. There we go. I got to take care of some folks that help me pay the bills. So I want to tell you about Redline Shipping. If you don't know of Redline, I'd like you to. They have a full staff that you can call. They are reptile keepers, reptile enthusiasts that are educated on shipping reptiles. They work with FedEx. It's overnight shipping, FedEx labels at a discounted rate. You can go to their website, redlineshipping.com. It's a great user interface. Use the promo code PROPER5. Get yourself $5 off your next shipping label. They also sell shipping supplies and heating and cooling supplies, which they're going to refer to when they give you input on how to ship your animal safely this time of year, or even in the summer when it's hot too. But we're definitely in it right now. I'm not sure who. Somebody texted me and it says, "Oh yeah," it says I got a perfect score. I don't know. Maybe it must be a Google thing. I'll check it out. That's mid-show. Thanks for checking, Josh. That's real time right there, huh? Shedtesting.com. That is Charlie Williams. That will be and is underway already, shifting to phenome.com. Shedtesting.com will become phenome.com. So you'll hear me use those interchangeably, and eventually I'll change over the banner once we get all the details sorted out and their website sorted out and all that. In the meantime, you could still get your sheds tested at shedtesting.com. Charlie recently upped his lab game. It's not his lab. It's a lab that he works with that can handle incredible volume. By the way, he doesn't have to wait until a certain amount of business accumulates before he sends sheds to the lab. You send him the shed, you're going to get the results back in 5 business days. That's his commitment. And if I know Charlie, if he's committing to a number, he's aiming to do better at it as well. Less human interaction, so less chance for variables and errors. And so let's see, faster turnaround, better science with less errors. Oh, and he lowered the prices too. How about that? You can't beat any of that. Go check out shedtesting.com. There's over 40 genes that you could test for. Newest ones added are NR Mandarin test is now available as well. You also see a library of requests that he's looking for sheds to further new research and development on new tests that can be implemented. Use a promo code PROPER10, get yourself 10% off of 2 orders of shed tests. It's a little bit confusing. You can order as many tests as you want per order, and you can do that twice and get 10% off. How about that? Just for hanging out for the promos. Reagan Renee Royal Pythons is next. That's Charlie Ryan in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And check out, speaking of websites and what I say, relativity is not a theory, a relevant topic, relevant to our topic. ReaganRenee.com. You don't have to put Royal Pythons, just ReaganRenee.com. His full inventory is on there of animals that he has available. If you buy off of ReaganRenee.com, you're going to get free shipping. If you want even a better discount, use the promo code Proper10. You're going to get another 10% off of his great offerings. Charlie's working Kryptons, DG, G-Stripe, Candy Pied, and Clowns, and singles, doubles, triples. I think he even has some quad ingredients, not visuals, but quad hets kind of deal. Check him out on there. He is doing cool stuff, I'm sure, with the help of AI, but maybe right out of his smart noggin up top there. He has some new twists on calculators on there. So there's a genetic calculator, of course, but he has put in a twist where there's a financial calculator. Now you're going to have to enter in the dollar amounts that you project, but it will talk to you about the likelihood of the span or the spectrum of income or value of a particular pairing. He's also got a calculator to calculate whether it makes sense to shed test a clutch. Again, with some financial considerations taken into account that you're going to enter. So those are free. That's just value add for you to go check out ReaganRenee.com. Keeper Kane. Keeper Kane is Kane Fritz Wallace in Tennessee. Sorry, I got a lot of stuff flying around here. That's Kane and Michelle. Keeper Kane is their YouTube channel about their adventures keeping large snakes, breeding ball pythons. He's got some, I think they're tarantulas, but certainly arachnids, and then aquatics as well. And he's got a bunch of cool stuff on there. Always safe for work, always safe for children, family, that kind of stuff. Really great content. And Kane is super active. We talk about Patreons. He's in like 6 Patreons. He's very active in the community of ball pythons. You've probably come across him, but if you haven't, go check out his channel. Give him a little bit of support. He's really excited to share the Keeper Kane YouTube channel with you as well. Sundog Serpents, that is Sarah and Josh. They are down in Orlando, Florida. They are working TSK Axanthic Clown projects. They're working puzzle projects, super asphalt. And I think I wrote down that they have a Stranger Clown Hypo combo clutch, either available or soon to be available as well. I've known them. I told you about Justin Weinrich, who'll be on the show in a couple of weeks. Sarah and Josh I've vended with for a long time. Sarah used to come vend with me at the Proper Royals booth, actually. Talk about somebody who wants to learn and get in, get their feet dirty, and come do some hard work. They're fantastic people. I still do business with them. We're doing a clown monsoon project together this year. Co-breeder, breeder, what do you call it? Co-breeder, breeder, you know what I'm talking about. Breeder loan. No, not breeder loan. It's our project together. Anyway, I'm saying all that because they're good people. I wouldn't work with them if I didn't trust them, especially on a project like that. I'm not going in on a business with somebody that I don't trust of that magnitude for sure. So check them out. Last but not least is Chris at BNS Reptilia. Speaking of people that I trust, I vend Tinley with Chris in October. He is Reptilia because along with ball pythons, he specializes in blood pythons, locality boas, colubrids of all shapes and sizes, Pituophis, the bull snakes, the pine snakes. He's got the paperwork if you need permits and certifications in your locality to have those. And he wants to make sure you have the education necessary to legally own them and successfully own them as well. Check out Chris at BNS Reptilia. Like I say, he's my business partner at Tinley. We also own a couple animals together. You haven't heard much about her because she's growing up, but in the near future, you're going to hear a whole lot more about the Rainbow Clown project that we jumped in on together. So check out all of those advertisers. They are people from within our industry, investing in our industry, keeping the lights on for me. And I love coming to hang out with you in the audience each week, but they make it possible and feasible for me to do that. So give them a look, give them a check out. They're great people. So thanks very much. Coming to you ad free with the good folks at Palm Street as well. How goofy do I feel sitting down low in the chair? But I got to keep some, we got to show some love to these folks. Thanks for sticking around. I think that's the first time ever that the viewership went up during the promo section. I like you guys. This is a good crowd right here. All right. I've missed John. Thank you for another little jingle jangle in the jar. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like button. I appreciate that. Caffeinated lizard. John, thank you so much, man. That is very kind of you. I hope you guys are safe up there in Massachusetts with all that snow. You know what I'm saying? Um, Kike, much love, my friend. Thanks for all the support over all the years. We got you, man. Uh, oh yeah, Mission knows what I'm talking about. Squishy balls and two marbles. There we go. You just got to sit there, you know. Grades improved really quickly. I'm saying, man, this stainless steel, it's like it's actually a doorknob. Look at the threads in the bottom of it, or a cabinet knob. But it's like a ball you'd find in a pinball machine. And man, that thing is satisfying. I think the kids say. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Let's get through a few more of the things that I use AI for. I wouldn't have you sit through all those ads without a little bit more juicy tidbits, you know? Okay, this is a really cool thing, and this is really kind of an innovation or a profound difference that Google wasn't able to do in the past. And really, AI is processing lots of information way faster than Google did. But one of the things that it does, and you might have heard the word, excuse me, just had dinner, is generative. And it will make some assumptions, and this is AI or ChatGPT specifically. It will make some generative assumptions based on how all these other different language models or the language conversations that it has studied, how it predicts it should respond. And that is a key difference from Google. So Google says, here's what I found that exists. You can look at it. ChatGPT says, here's all this stuff I've amassed. Here's what I think is the likeliest answer, bringing that all together. And sometimes that's bad because it makes assumptions that you just have to go, that's not right. Don't do that. But because it's willing to do that, you can ask it a question like, what am I not thinking of? What dangers do you think I should anticipate that I have not anticipated? The very figurative look around the corner. What do I need to know and beware of that I am not thinking of? So one real world example, I recently set up a line of credit for my business. A lot of what I do is very seasonal. You can imagine a car wash in the doldrums of temperatures that haven't gotten above single digits for over a week now. I'm not doing much business in the car wash. I'm also not shipping many snakes right now. So a line of credit helps me with the seasonality of things. Maybe that's a topic for a whole other, maybe we just do a whole show on a line of credit. That was new to me though. I know I talk about it with confidence. I didn't know really what a line of credit was. I certainly didn't know how to go get one. I didn't know what it was going to take to do it. And I didn't know what a good one or a bad one was. So I went to a bank. I told them what I was interested in. I told them what I felt that my needs were. They pitched me the idea of a business revolving line of credit. I sat there and acted like I knew what I was doing. They said, all right, sign right here. I said, you know what? I'm going to need a day or two before I sign right here. I'm taking the paperwork. I scanned the paperwork. I got the text identified, put it into ChatGPT. First, it said you're doing business with a reputable bank. The interest rates are good. This all looks on the up and up. And then I said, what do I need to know about that I probably didn't, that I don't realize or probably don't understand? And it gave me a laundry list of things that we hadn't talked about and that I had no idea. So the line of credit is backed by proper royals, and it's actually like a farmer loan. It's backed by my livestock. Well, one of the details of that means if livestock goes away, i.e. I sell it, or God forbid it dies, or I buy new livestock, I am technically supposed to update the bank. Didn't know that. We hadn't talked about that. That was in the reading and in the formulation that ChatGPT was able to come to based on the type of loan and the type of bank that I was using and the farmer loan and that kind of deal. And so when I went to go talk to the bank, they said, well, yes, that's typically right. But there's also a statement in here that says in the normal course of your business, and you let us know that you do 26 shows a year. So we know that your inventory will be depleting as new inventory is hatched. We're okay with that. Wow. But it immediately made me more educated because I was able to ask it, what don't I know about? What am I getting into? 29 inches of snow. I bet it does feel like the North Pole. You're not in Azores anymore, are you, man? Holy cow. That's awesome, man. John's up in Boston area. Is crazy there. So asking it what you don't know or what it thinks that you don't know and to educate you on it is a really, really powerful tool and a powerful strategy with AI. You can do that with your budget. Hey, what areas am I being too ambitious for? What areas do you think I'm nuts about? We actually had, I say we, like it's another person. I had a spirited discussion with ChatGPT when it came to my car wash budget, because I said, I want to increase it 10% this year for each month. ChatGPT took that to mean January is going to be 10% better than December. February is going to be 10% better than January. March is going to be 10% better than February. So that by the end of the year, I've got more than 120% growth. And it was like, this is an ambitious goal, Adam. I'm like, I don't really think it is. And it was because it was calculating it and took me, I probably misspoke to the thing, but I had to clarify with it. No. Whatever I did every month last year, I just want to do 10% more each month. So January 2026, I think I'll do 10% more than January of 2025. And it says, oh, well, why do you think that? Okay, very good. I put a new coat of paint on the building. I have it. It has its own Instagram page. I work for advertising on it. I'm more well-known in the community. People have stopped freaking out because there's snakes next door. All of those things, I think I can make 10% more on. But it definitely was trying to tell me, hey, that's an ambitious goal. And it misunderstood me on that, or I presented the information wrong. But it's really nice. And that's something really, really, like say, kind of profoundly different than Google really has ever been able to offer, I think, anyway. All right, my last thing that I'll tell you about that I use, and I've sort of hinted at it all along, this is a building on a theme, that I use AI for is, and then I'm going to tell you the things that, so don't turn away. I'm going to tell you what I don't use AI for very specifically as well, is what I call speaking to the machine. I am wildly comfortable speaking to you all. So my content, when I'm making content, here's how I think about it. What are the humans going to consume? It's got to be interesting for the humans, and the humans win. The humans trump everything. If I could get you, it doesn't really matter what I put else otherwise. But every piece of content, you're talking to the human, but you're also talking to the machine, because the machine has to distribute it to the humans. Think about that for a minute. How powerful would all of us be, whether it be in business, whether it be in influence, reaching people, leadership, whatever, if our really good message could get in front of the perfect recipients? So if I'm trying to sell a ball python and I know that it's an Enchi clown Enchi gravel clown, if I knew every person that was working that project and I knew what they were willing to spend and it matched what I wanted to get for that animal, if I could get that in front of them, I would sell every one of them, right? There's tons of ball python breeders out there. There's tons of ball python buyers. We just can't get to the right people at the right time, in the right moment, when they have the right amount of money that we're willing to accept. The machine helps us do that. If you think about that, that is literally what Google is the best at in the history of the universe, or TikTok or Meta is, but their job to stay in business, how they became the most successful companies in the history of the universe, is connecting people that benefit from being connected. Somehow 25 of you know to be here tonight because you're going to enjoy it and get something out of it. It put me in front of you all tonight. So your content, you want to make it for humans, but you want the machines to understand what it is so that it can get your content in front of the right humans. And that is where I use ChatGPT. That whole section right there, you could take the transcript of what I just said, plug that into ChatGPT, say, I am a ball python breeder with the brand name XYZ, located XYZ. My average prices are from zero or from X dollars to Y dollars. And I want to sell to this particular specialized group, whether it be pet owners, early hobby breeders, whether it be in Austin or whether it be in Wyoming. And then say to ChatGPT, write all of that information needs to be encapsulated in all of my captions going forward, and all of my meta ads, and all of my blog posts, and all of my efforts to get Google to recognize me. All of that needs to be encapsulated. Don't forget it. And it's going to be in this project, ChatGPT. Get to work. And then every time you post a reel, you say, write a caption for me. I posted one yesterday. I think it was a cinnamon fire leopard het clown that has a bit of a temper. She took a strike at me. There you go. ChatGPT, write me a caption about a ball python that took a strike at me that is a cinnamon fire leopard het clown. Boom, put it out there, and it better talk about Adam being a reliable breeder in Minnesota, selling $300 to $800 animals primarily to the local scene and nationally to like-minded breeders that are working similar projects where the sky's the limit on the pricing. ChatGPT can handle that and whittle it all down. I don't know if you guys have noticed, I tend to get long-winded. One of the things I like about ChatGPT is it will whittle down what I have to say, which is also going to be a blessing for you if you don't want to sit through this whole episode. So I use ChatGPT to talk to what I call talking to the machine for Instagram captions, YouTube descriptions, SEO keywords, and thumbnail hooks. Constantly. I write very little of it. Now, one thing I do is every episode, I take the transcript and I pump it into ChatGPT and say, learn how I speak. Make it sound like it's Adam talking. And then, of course, you need to make sure it's in your own voice. There's lots of them I throw away. I'm like, this doesn't sound like me. Try again. Do it again. So make it yours. Make sure you approve it. But that is something I use it very, very much for. I have not tried Grok. Is that the one that's on like X or whatever? I don't have anything against it. I don't have X. There's only so many platforms I can run through. And I pay, you might have missed the part. I pay for ChatGPT. So like, I'm going to get my worth out of it, I think is what I want to do. Copilot. Okay. I haven't heard of that one. I had a conversation as I would with a friend so it could determine my baseline tone. Yeah. Brilliant. That's what you got to do. Like even in day-to-day business world, download 50 emails and just send it 50 emails. Hey, here's how I usually write. Now I need you to help me write emails that sound like me and that they're not from a machine. Definitely do that exercise. Jeremy, for no specific reason other than I'm not good at a whole bunch of different platforms. I've never actually even been on formerly Twitter, now X. I've never been there. I don't I know nothing about it. I'm probably missing out. I'm just now tiptoeing into TikTok. That's my new thing for this year. Maybe next year. I'm not sure. Haven't been there though. Yeah, that's exactly. Yes. Rat bastard. That's what you need to do. It'll take overnight, but tomorrow morning, go get the transcript, plug it into ChatGPT, say, give me the Cliffs Notes, teach me all the crap he talked about for an hour. I need to know what I can put to use. That's exactly it. That's right. Those of you listening on audio, that's literally his name, Rat Bastard Royals. I wasn't talking down whatsoever. Also, ChatGPT, I'm a nice guy. I wasn't calling him that. All right. Here's where I do not use AI. Thanks, Garrett. It's always nice when people are like, "Hey, everybody, go somewhere else." That's cool. Here's where I do not use AI on genetics decisions, things that are art based, things that are you got to feel something. Like ChatGPT is never going to tell me if I like a song or a song melody. You know what I mean? So if it's something that you're passionate about and that you're decisive about and you're confident that you know that you like, don't use ChatGPT for that. Pairing intuition, both from what you like and what you don't like, but also like look at the behavior of the animal. Look at an ultrasound. If you don't have an ultrasound, look at, again, its behavior. Has it stopped eating? Is it in the front of the tub? Is it in the back of the tub? Like some of those things where it comes down to something with so many variables, and normally I would say like a human discretion, but in this case it's a snake. Don't use Chat GPT for that. Thank you, Garrett. After last week's lashing that I got from the audience, you guys are cool. No, some people went out of their way to give me certain thoughts. I'm like, just let it fly. No, thanks, man. I am actually interested in checking that out. I gotta see what Darian's cooking up at some point. I don't use ChatGPT for animal health judgment. I have done research on it. There's so little research that's been done specifically on ball python health. I still prefer a good vet resource. You got to build those relationships yourself, but that is something that I you could do it's hard to say because it depends on what it is. Like you could try and figure out what the symptoms point to, but I still think you should get human expertise when it comes to, animal health judgment. Last but not least, what I do not use AI for is relationship building. I have no evidence to back this up or no other statement other than just coming from my heart. Who we are and our authentic selves are always the very, very best. Use AI to be a tool that can help you, but be you. I think one of my favorite things for all the trash that is social media, one of the best things about social media is that I think that there's an appetite for every human being's personality out there. It's the job of these companies to connect us with the people that do appreciate us. And I believe that wholeheartedly. And I think it's something that I would encourage anybody to jump into. And yeah, there's trolls out there, there's jerks out there, and there's bumpy places, but there are wonderful people that you connect with. There are people that you connect with that even disagree with you and are still cool, like a lot of you guys watching, and that is awesome. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So like relationship building, don't use AI in place of picking up a phone or just writing a heartfelt DM to somebody or whatever. So those are the things that I don't use AI for. And there's quite a lot else I mentioned earlier, like anything you ever see Adam doing, that's Adam doing it. I'm not into the fake videos and it's fun. It's neat. It's entertaining. But I just don't have time for it, honestly. And I haven't figured out a good way to use it as marketing. And one of my strengths or one of my things that I hold dear is that I just want to be my authentic self. It took me so long in life. I struggled so long with that it took me a long time to get to the point where I just said, you know what, I'm me. And I try to watch my mouth on the show, but insert an expression here that might have an expletive. You know what? I'm going to go through life as myself. And it's so crazy, like what happens as soon as that you get to that point, but it was hard to get there. So that's my feeling on it. I don't know. I'm sure there's some tools out there to help people get there if you wanted to try it, but there's what I got. Thanks for hanging out tonight. That was a fun episode. I hope it's useful. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to me about them. If you didn't hear my offer at the very beginning, episode 1 one of how I use AI in 2026 is now up on the Proper Royals Patreon. You could go watch it for free. It doesn't cost you anything. There is no commitment necessary. And if you like that episode, there are 2 more behind it on the paywall, and there's going to be quite a lot more for the rest of this year. A lot of those things I talked about today, I'll do deep dives on and give you I'll show you just exactly what I do. I share my screen as I'm doing it, as I'm implementing it. So I hope you come hang out, and there's really cool people there. So guys, thanks so much. This show really does brighten my day. It takes me away from the world around me sometimes in a really, really good way. So thanks very much. I'll see you at the same time, same place next week. Jeremy Warfel will be here next week. And the week after, Justin Weinrich from Morph Jungle will be here next time. Cheers, everybody. Thank you very, very much. Hey, St. Mary's is a cool place. It's a former backyard, little bedroom community of Jacksonville, Florida. I wish you the best. You got to come hang out at the shop before you head that way. All right, guys. Yeah, Craig says don't screw around with threads. That's for nobody. We'll have to explore that thought next time, Craig. Cheers, everybody. I'll see you. I know I've said that 5 times. I'm going to actually hit the ending. Bye.